Hello everyone. I wanted to make a update on my stocks. I want to take this opportunity to point out a mistake I made, and I hope you guys can pay attention to, so hopefully you won't make that mistake. Um, so last week I bought two stocks. On the 23rd, I bought GLBS right here at $9. Actually, no, wait. Sorry, it was right here at 9.75, and I bought DGAZ at 4.15. Now, when I had originally looked at these charts, I was whatever I saw at the time. I liked it. I was going with it. What had happened is the very next day, both those stocks went down. So I bought a little lower, like kind of like around this little this higher area, and then it kind of came down and then swooped back up. So I basically bought it on the downslope. I thought it was gonna come up here from this peak and then keep going upwards. So what I had to end up doing is I had to hold the trade throughout the week, and then through the weekend, and then till today, where I sold DGAZ for a 5% profit. Now I just sold it for 5% because I just wanted to get out of it, because that's a little bit longer than I normally like to hold stocks. Usually I like to do I like to buy and trade within that week. I don't usually like to hold over the weekend, but I mean, if the strategy fails, sometimes you have to just ride it out. So luckily I didn't panic on it. I didn't, like, as it went down, I didn't just sell it and take that loss. I just figured the stock will go back up. Stocks go up, stocks go down. That's just how they work. So it took a week, but I mean, eventually it came back up, and then I sold it. Now GLBS, I'm still waiting on this one, unfortunately. I bought it at 9.75, and it's only at 8.39. And when I bought it, it was along this upward trend. Like every day, it popped in the morning. It gapped up in the morning like 3 or 4 days in a row, and I thought I was going to be able to get in on one of the pops and then sell it the next day. And it did come up on the day that I bought it, and it was almost up, I think, like close to 20%. And I should have sold it. Like, it would have counted as a day trade, and I had one day trade within that 5 day period. So technically, I would have had 2 day trades. So for the rest of the week, I would have had to been cautious about that. But I decided to not do that and hold it for the next day. And then when the next day happened, then this happened. It just started going down. So once that happened, it just started going down, and now I'm just kind of riding it out. So I'm still stuck in this trade, unfortunately. I'm hoping by the end of this week, I will have gotten out of it and sold it. But I'm not gonna be in the red when I sell this one. I'm gonna wait till I'm green. So the point I'm trying to make is, like, my strategy failed. I failed. I made a mistake. It happened, but I'm not gonna forfeit the time and effort I put into buying that and then just selling the stock right away and just taking the loss so I could just move on. I still want to gain some money on that stock, and I only bought 20 shares. Like, normally I buy like a 50 block or 100 block of shares, but these ones I only bought like 20 shares at a time. So really, I'm not holding that much of my total account. So that's why I'm not really worried about it. Now, if I was like 200 shares or something like that, I probably would have sold it off as soon as it went down, because my portfolio would have dragged down with it. So it's not that big of a deal. Now, I do have these ones here in my watch list. These same ones I'm watching for a little bit. I need to do some work on these a little more, because I don't want to make the same mistake. And that's part of it. Like, I kind of had 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks in a row where I was down in my portfolio. But the weeks prior was a run up. My stocks were going up, and prior to it was, I think there's something to do with the inauguration, because before the inauguration, like, everything was going up okay, and then once the inauguration happened, like, it seemed to go down. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, or I just wasn't feeling the market, or what. So But long story short, you know, don't get emotional over it. A lot of times, like, you know, I'll put out videos about something happening in the market, and like I always say, like, you know, certain people might get offended by this, or you might get offended by this, you know, but I'm not here to really, like, you know, hold your hand to care about your feelings. You know, I'm here to try to give you guys what I think is good information or relevant information in the market, and try to give you good information so you could compare that to what other videos are saying, what other YouTubers are saying, what other news people are saying, what other economists are saying, you know, and you can make the best well-informed decision, you know. But kind of dialing back your emotion, and not worrying about the day-to-day ups and downs of the stock, you know, is gonna help you in the long run. So, like I said, I had to hold that one for a week, which, I mean, that's nothing, you know, really, in retrospect. Most people do buy and hold strategies where they're holding for months and years. But since I'm a day to day trader, for me, it kind of bothers me a little bit. But like I said, water under the bridge, it's all good. I'm going to keep moving. So, in hopefully, my next couple videos, I'll have one of these ones in here bought. And then we'll see if we can write it up and see what happens. I also got like questions on a couple stocks. I think one of them was Bioa, if I remember right. And a person just asking like my opinion on it. Now, what I said is right now, like looking at this 1 year chart, like you see where these dips are at about 365, then 397, and then 372 where it's at right now. It looks like it was kind of running up pretty good with a lot of volatility, but you know, it's a penny stock, you know, it's under $5, so it's to be expected. But now it's way down over here. So on a 5 year, it looks like it's swooping down pretty good, but on a 1 year, it looks like it's kind of trying to pick up some momentum to go back up. So I basically said, I'm like, if you're the person that's looking at this stock and you believe that it's worth buying into, because remember, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I say, you're spending your money. So always think about that, you know. But I was like, I see it as a possibility of a buying opportunity because it's gotten beaten down a lot from this what is this, 557 or whatever. So I think there's an opportunity for it. And then there's another one which, man, I don't think I can even remember what it was. Let's try real quick. RN was it this one? Yeah, it was this one. RNVA. So if you look at this one is just consistently on a downslope. On a 5 year chart, it's on a downslope. On a 1 year chart, it's on a downslope. On a 3 year chart, it's on a downslope. 1 month down, 1 week down. One day is the only green, but I mean that's just one day. So I was when another person asked me about this one, I said I wouldn't buy it because it's not showing that it could go up. It hasn't shown it could go up. Sure, there's these like spikes over here, you know, coming up, but that was last year. There's nothing current that's showing that it's going up. It's just consistently going down. So it's not showing upward momentum. So I was saying, you know, I wouldn't buy this. But again, I said if you feel like there's an opportunity here and you want to buy it, you know, that's you. You got to make that decision. But my opinion of it was I wouldn't buy it. And that's just kind of like a couple stocks or whatever. And like I said, I try to answer your guys' questions as best I can. I want to give you guys not so much the exact answer you're looking for, like do I buy or do I sell, because that's not how I want you all to understand what buying stocks is. Like, I want you to understand what strategy you're trying to implement and how you're trying to learn about that stock, about trends, you know, about charts and stuff like that, so you can make that decision, you know. If you say, should I buy Google, and I say yes, and then you go buy Google and it goes down, you know, you're going to be upset at me. But I'm going to be like, why are you upset? You spent your money. You chose to buy that stock. You have to justify in your head why that's a good stock. You could take my opinion on it, but you should also take several others to see what they say as well. Do your own research, then buy the stock. You got to put in the time on it. Don't just go around asking a simple question like, should I buy it, yes or no? and expect me to say that. I'm always gonna say what I think, and then I'll give you that answer, and then right after it I'll say, but it's your money, you do what you want with it, you know. So I just want you all to understand that part of it. So hopefully that made sense. And like I said, keep giving me comments. I'm always gonna answer as many questions as I can. You know, this is definitely been a growing channel that I was surprised I'm already like past like 200 subscribers in like 2 weeks or something. So this has been pretty nice, and it's very nice that I'm able to share with you all, because this is basically what I did. You know, I didn't have anybody to talk to. You know, I didn't have anybody that I knew that traded stocks or whatever. So I had to learn all this myself, watching YouTube and stuff like that. So I respect what y'all are doing by doing the exact same thing. So that's why I want to help. I'm trying to pay it forward to you all to help you all learn what I learned, because I had like 15 grand in debt, you know, and I helped pay that down with trading stocks, you know. And I don't pretend to be great at it or anything like that, but I definitely did enough to help me get out of debt, which is I'm very thankful for, you know. But I put in hard work, you know. I learned so I can earn, you know. So just keep that in mind. And as always, if you like my content, just help me out. Click like and subscribe. Lets me know that you guys appreciate it, and I'll try to keep this stuff going for you guys. All right. So have a good night.